And everything I was sharing, like, you can pull those principles from the Bible. So it's like my religion is called hate speech to them, and that is just absurd to me.
Melonie Mac has been banned on Twitch. Now, this has been
Wait, again?
No, it's the same one. It's the same one from the other day.
we haven't had you on. We haven't had you on to let you talk about this.
Right.
So, I know we saw the clip that you posted on your YouTube channel.
Uh-huh.
And then we saw Asmongold come in and do his
Yeah.
thing and talk about this. And you put a very nice response out on X saying you don't have anything harsh to say about him.
Right.
And I thought this was really, I would just love for you to kind of talk about this experience and
Okay.
just in general.
Yeah, so basically I was multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube because a lot of people are like, well, why don't you stream on YouTube now? Why don't you stream on Kick now? I already was multi-streaming to all 3 platforms. Twitch gave me a 2-week ban. The other 2 platforms didn't do anything. So basically, before I started my stream, I just had a candid discussion that was involving the LGBT identities, things like that. And me being a Christian, I was sharing my perspective biblically around that. And because of that, Twitch didn't like it. Twitch called it hate speech, even though I did not call for any sort of violence. I didn't call for people to harass people or anything like that. It was just like, hey, this is what the Bible says. This is what I believe. And so yeah, so that happened. Then Asmongold reacted to it. He built a giant straw man argument around it. And he got colossally ratioed on his clips channel. Last I checked, it was at like 300,000 views, and almost all the comments had my back from people, whether they agreed with me or didn't. They were like, some people who didn't agree with me were like, hey, we may not agree with this, but she shouldn't be banned for her religious beliefs and for expressing her religious beliefs. And so, yeah, even though Asmongold did have a lot of negative things to say about my take and about me and all that kind of stuff, I didn't take it personal because I think ultimately I was more happy that he showed it and my message got out there. It's like, that's how I took it. It was like, I would rather people hear me out and disagree with me than not even hear me out at all. And so it's like, okay, he played it. He let me say what I said. He said what he said. He's allowed to disagree. I think that he was being unreasonable, but it's fine. I don't expect everybody to agree with me, and he can disagree with me. I'm not going to have an issue with that. And so that's why I made the statement that I did about him. I was like, I don't have anything mean to say about him. I wasn't ever mad at him for making that. I was glad that he did. So it's all good to me. And I don't give a crap about Twitch. Some people are celebrating and like, yay, oh, okay, now you're gonna have to start an OnlyFans, and it's just a joke. Like, Twitch was my lowest revenue source. And I wasn't even streaming on there for the longest time. And I was like, oh, they allow multi-streaming now? Might as well multi-stream there. So I don't give a crap like that. I made a clip and tagged Twitch on it, and I was like, you're gonna have to ban me longer than that. And then I dropped my favorite word. So, so it's like, go ahead, perma ban me. I don't give a crap. I don't need Twitch. Twitch is a dying platform anyway. So hey, that's just what it is.
Do you feel that increasingly things are becoming anti-Christian? And
Yes.
it's I notice it so often because, I'm not particularly religious, but
Mhm.
Christian values are kind of like in my DNA from my family. And I went to catechism when I was a kid, and I've just sort of lived the ideals, but I'm
Right.
not super religious. But I just feel like a lot of them are just common sense. Like, I just saw this movie, quick recommendation after you see Dune Part 2,
Mhm.
Ordinary Angels.
Mhm.
Okay. Ordinary Angels stars Alan Richson. He's a father. His daughter needs a liver transplant to live. It's based on a true story. I don't want to ruin the film. They're calling it a faith-based movie. It's the character just goes to church. That's
Right.
all. It doesn't push any religion. It doesn't push any particular denomination or whatever. It's just the character goes to church with his
Right.
kids, but they're calling it faith-based. And this movie, by the way, beat Madam Web at the box office
Yeah, we saw
last
that.
Oh.
Yeah.
weekend. So little recommendation. But why are they calling it faith-based? It's just, it used to be that Christian values were just sort of embedded in Hollywood. Hollywood was probably more conservative, and there were
Mhm.
movies. When you look at a lot of movies of the past, just religion was more a part of people's lives, which I think was a good thing because it
Right.
kept us grounded with common values. Even if you're not religious, we share the same values. I'm seeing this happening, and it's really concerning to me. And I think it's turned
Mhm.
off. It's to the point where modern Hollywood can't write a hero because they don't have those
Right.
values. So I was
Exactly, and
curious your thoughts.
I think that's one reason why there is such a huge pushback against Christianity in general is because here we have a book, like a guideline with a moral code in it.
Mhm.
And people are all about subjective morality right now. They want to choose their own moral values. And there's a slippery slope that comes with that because if you're making yourself your own god, and when you just place your moral values on, oh well, I this is what I believe, and you can't expect everybody to agree with you on that. And this is one reason why I absolutely love being a Christian, is that I can say, look, this I'm getting my moral values from the Bible, not my own opinions. Because if I were to make up my own moral values, would they be exactly like the Bible? No, but I know that God knows more than I know. And so that gives me comfort in all that. And that is something that I think has helped society in the past, when it's like, hey, look, we have concrete morals right here. um and it's not up for, there's not all this subjectivity around it, and oh, this is my truth and your truth and this and that. It's like, okay, hey guys, we've got it all here. It's concrete. And society hates that because society wants to be able to do whatever they want, and they want to make up their own morality system.
So Desiree came in yesterday with a super
Hmm.
chat where she more or less said it's the idea of you getting banned because you're spouting your religious beliefs. That slope is so unbelievably slippery. The idea
Yep.
that you coming on, like, some would argue that people's identity have become their religion, right? And where does that
Oh,
line
they
stop
have.
and start? So should they should be banned based off of their thoughts. But once again, it goes back to, where are these companies located? They're located in
Hmm.
these bubbles in San Francisco, in LA, in this
Yep.
very tight bubble that nothing can penetrate. And that's what you see. Then you see, girl in middle America getting banned for spouting, her Christian beliefs, which once again, it
Right.
shouldn't matter what you believe. It's but the fact that that's deemed as, what they say, hate speech,
Yeah,
or
hate speech. And I was everything I was sharing, like, you can pull those principles from the Bible. So it's like my religion is called hate speech to them, and that is just absurd to me. And speaking of Desiree, I just love her so much. Thank you, Desiree, for speaking out and defending me. I appreciate that. But yeah, and the thing is so many people want to come for me and say, oh, you're forcing your beliefs on everybody. These people who are saying that are the ones who want to force us to use their fake pronouns. They're the ones that want to force us to let men in women's bathrooms, so on and so forth. But I'm the one forcing my values just because I share them on Twitter or Twitch. That's not adding up.
Yeah, it's just having been. I've lived in Los Angeles. I moved from Michigan in 1989 and lived here, and it's bizarre how just anti-religious Hollywood has become.
Mhm.
I've got a good friend. His name is Jeremy Kuhn. He's a Mormon.
Yeah.
Okay, Mormon. In fact, the most interesting thing about Jeremy, he will never swear. He will never
Mhm.
ever use a swear word. And he's married with kids. He lives the ideals, right? He's the producer and editor of the movie Napoleon Dynamite. You see that
I
movie?
love that movie!
Yeah, it's well, all the people who made it, they're all Mormons. The lead
Uh-huh.
actor's Mormon, the director's Mormon, the producer, my friend Jeremy
That makes
Mormon.
sense because even though I'm not Mormon, I'm like, I grew up homeschool Christian, and
Uh-huh.
watching Napoleon Dynamite just reminded me a lot of that, like, Christian humor and and all that stuff. So,
But
okay.
it's weird how, he tried to make some movies after that, but definitely found people were prejudiced toward his projects because it's not like he makes religious movies. He just makes fun movies that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah.
And, it's just bizarre to me how much I've noticed friends of mine. I have a very diverse group of friends, right? They're just
Mhm.
all over the map. Weird. But I never have understood so much of the prejudice towards people who are religious. I don't get it. I don't understand. There's like a weird, like, don't you understand that you're intolerant? That's what you accuse them of being. Like,
Yep.
how do you not look in the mirror and see this? There's a profound lack of self-awareness. And it's like, I think you may have heard that, like, I feel like the right understands the left better than the left understands itself.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and look, like I say, I'm part of the alt middle, you know? But it's just weird to sort of look at, like, how polarized people have become and how hateful the other side that claims to not be hateful has also become. And we've kind of lost our way. This is why I think movies are even less popular, right?
Yep.
It's just less popular.
Yep.
Fewer people are going to the movies. Fact, audience shrinking.
Yep.
Video games, there's other video games, YouTube, many other ways to be entertained.
Yep.
And this anti-religious thing is a bad thing. Even just sharing the values and the fact that a movie like Ordinary Angels, which is a very, you know, it's not a faith-based movie. Just the characters happen to go to church.
Yeah.
How is
But
that like, is that going to offend people? And it beat, like I said, it beat Madam Web. In
Mhm.
Madam Web's super second weekend just dropped. So anyone that strongly recommend Ordinary Angels with Alan Ritchson. A lot of people are saying he should play Batman. I mean, I'm saying he might be able to play Batman. He's a big dude. Um, but yeah, no, it's very concerning to me, and I've noticed it for years. And so, um, shout just kudos to you, Melanie, for standing up
Thank
against that
you.
and for looking at it in a very pragmatic way.